Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to discuss about one of the most popular books which is recommended by most of the millionaires around the world, most of the financial gurus you listen to. Yes, you have correct, you have guessed it right. It's the Millionaire Fast Lane by MG DeMarco. So let's embark on this journey. Let's see what he says in the first chapter, The Great Deception. So let's start. The chapter starts with a quote which says that normal is not a thing to run to, rather it is a thing to run away from. It's a bit differently laid in the book, but that's what the actual meaning is. So that means that no, you have to run away from normality. You have to run towards excellence because people think that yeah, that's the normal thing. I should run towards that. No, you if you have option, you have the option to run towards excellence. Then why run towards normal? Why be average when you can be the best, right? So yeah, now let's start with the teaching. So the chapter starts and here, an MTV Cribs interviewer is interviewing Big Daddy Who, and while interviewing, he sees his Ferrari 488 GTB, his Lamborghini Huracan, and his Rolls Royce Arnage. And after seeing all those, and he was interviewing him on his mansion, and while after seeing his wealth, he said, "Come on, man, you are just 22 years old. How can you earn such a huge amount of money at such a young age?" And he jokingly said, he said that I got rich by investing in low cost indexed funds, investing in 401ks, and I was working a Wingo wireless job, which that sounds very preposterous, right? Like, come on, you are just 22, you got rich? Come on, that doesn't work. Because investing never made anyone rich when they had no money. If you have a lot of money, then you invest, that's a totally different game. That's what MJD Marco is trying to say here. And that interview ended, and yeah, that's how it ended. And after that, he says, that uh, generally people who get rich young are pro athletes. Either they are pro athletes, or they are actors, or they are rappers, or they are entertainers, or they are famous people, or they have simply inherited their wealth. But since I assume that most of you who are watching this video, they aren't, and as he has assumed that most of the people who are reading this book are not one of these, so he says that if you're not in any of these categories, you're not you don't fall under any of these sets, then the only advice you get from the financial gurus, from your parents, from the people around you, they say that go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a good job, invest in stock market, max out your 401k, cut your credit cards, and clip coupons. And when you'll be 65, you'll be rich. And this idea tends to irritate MJD Marco. He says, "Come on, what kind of idea is this? Like, why can't we get rich young, right?" And then we move on, and then he says that get rich slow is a losing game because the thing is that you have your time figured as the gamble. And you must have heard several millionaires and billionaires saying like time is your biggest asset, and that's what he's trying to say here. uh, so yeah, and as I told earlier, that nobody got rich by investing in indexed fund, and nobody became a millionaire by maxing out their 401ks in 3 years. And if yeah, nobody got there. That's what the speaker is saying. So here, the get rich slow, the thing with get rich slow, the problem is that you have to sacrifice your today, you have to sacrifice your dreams, your life for a plan that paid dividends after most of your life has evaporated. You cannot enjoy your wealth while earning it, right? That's the problem with get rich slow. That's why MJD Marco doesn't like it. Then he he says that uh, what the get rich slow follows is that it is a road to wealth which devours most of your active adult life and is not guaranteed. And that's the reason why it sucks. Okay? And you must have heard, a lot of people preach, like, get all these they all preach about the things mentioned in get rich slow uh, points. They say go to school, do this, do that, do that, do that, and you're 65, you'll retire, you'll be rich, you'll be this, that. But remember that all those things doesn't work, but selling that idea works, right? Because they themselves might not have followed their advice, and I won't say might, must not have followed their advice, because they would have their own fast lane they would have got their own millionaire fast lane, and that's how they would have got rich. But after they have got rich, they are selling you they're getting richer and richer and richer. So you don't have to believe on these gurus, right? Those comes on the internet. And then uh, let's move on. And then he says that the millionaire fast lane isn't about being retired old with millions, but about redefining wealth to include youth, fun, freedom, and prosperity. That's how he wants to redefine wealth. That's how he wants to implant an idea inside your brain that that's what wealth looks like. Wealth is not only having money, it's about having your fun, it's about having youth, it's about having prosperity, having great relations, and that's what he's saying. And regarding this, he also commented something. His Fastlane forum had a comment which I will attach in this video, okay? And then he says that you shouldn't believe that old age is a precondition to retirement. Anyone can retire at any time, provided that they work hard and have the money to retire at that age. And yes, this get rich slow now. It's a menace. It steals your dreams. It steals your ambitions. It steals your aspirations. And you must have experienced this in your own life. I don't know how many of you have experienced this, but I'm experiencing it right now. So I'm trying to cope up. I'm being like I'm not letting it gonna steal. And the problem is that you are surrounded with people like that, and getting cutting them off feels sometimes difficult. And then he asks a question that what do you see when someone says retirement? And what he sees is that he sees a crotchety old man on a porch in a creaky rocking chair with pharmacies or doctors' offices, workers, nursing homes, overburdened loved ones. And then he says that even at this age, they're struggling. They're struggling to make ends meet. And they just have to depend on certain government programs to survive. And so he says that this is where get rich slow gets you, right? And he's right. Medical expenses are getting a lot expensive nowadays. And he says it is because get rich slow is a pathway that takes a lifetime, and its success is dependent on factors you cannot control. So that is one thing that will be always be out of your hand, right? And then he says that very important question, that if the road to wealth and freedom devours 50 years of your life, is it worth walking? I don't think so. Let me know your answers in the comment. And then he ends the chapter by saying that if you want to retire young with wealth, vibrancy, and luxurious hair, ignore the get rich slow hypocrite financial experts. Ignore them, and then he'll further lay the stone in the next few chapters, which we'll be discussing later. Okay, guys, that's all. That's it for today. See you in another video.